Finn,
Sorry.
So Finn, yeah, this is a very historic stadium for the Oakland and everything. And how does it feel to create history today in this stadium for you?
Yeah, it's obviously cool. We said today we wanted to put it on a good show for the fans, our first time at Oakland, and yeah, I think we probably did that.
Finn, you hit 19 sixes today, and you can talk about the ground being small, but those were sixes at any ground in the world. They went second tier, third tier. So at any point as a human being, did you feel any mercy for the bowlers that they must be crying inside? And secondly, as we saw clean hitting from you, today, is there any batsman who's inspired you in terms of six hitting ability?
Yeah, I guess mercy, nah. We have enough tough days, I guess. When you're feeling good, you try and cash in. I guess today was one of those days you kind of get lucky sometimes, and the swing feels good, so you just try and cash in. But inspiring, I guess, is likes of Brendan McCullum and things like that. Try and be my own player as much as you can. But there's certainly guys like Brendan that inspire a lot of Kiwis back home growing up and watching those sort of guys. So I guess that you kind of emulate that a little bit.
Terrific. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How does it feel? Oh, sorry, Kevin.
I've been Christian Babcock with the Barry News Group. I wanted to ask you, they talked about playing in the stadium. Obviously, it's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of history here, a lot of sixes. What was the experience like, and the Bay Area fans, what did they bring to the table?
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. I think the way that they were able to put the ground together so quick and lay those wickets down, and for it to play like that, we were a little bit nervous, to be honest, of how it was going to play. And I think it was a really good wicket. I think our bowlers also found a pretty good way to bowl out there. Obviously, balls flying everywhere, and we kept our composure and were able to bowl them out. So I think that there's credit to those boys as well. But yeah, we just, as I said, we wanted to come out here first time with Oakland and throw the first punch and put on a show.
Yeah, last season, the difference between Unicorn, you and the Freedom were pretty over 90, right? When you lost the game. This time, it seemed completely opposite. What technique did you use this in your practice, or that helped you today get to this level?
No, I think it's a new year and it's a new tournament, and guys evolve over the last year since last year, and obviously we still feel that loss in the final last year, and we definitely talk about going one better this year. I think Watto has set us some pretty high standards for coming into this tournament, and hopefully we can live up to those and do one for the fans.
Any technology you used for this, for the practice, or more to be,
Not me personally. I'm sure behind the scenes, the guys up top, they've certainly used some data, I'm sure. But just for me, just trying to look to get better all the time, and
One last one. Sorry, Petey. Yeah, go on.
You used the word nervous to talk about your approach to how the wicket was going to play, knowing how it did play in New York last year versus what was happening for you tonight. How quickly were you able to figure out that it was much different than it had played in New York, and that you could start playing shots as freely as you did, as quickly as you did early in your innings?
Yeah, I think, as openers, we're always looking to assess the wicket pretty early, and me and Timmy have spent a lot of time batting together, so, we were talking a lot about what the wicket might be like, what was difficult at the start, and, we're both pretty positive players, I guess, and, we lost a couple of wickets in the power play, and I wanted to just react to the ball, especially not knowing what the wicket was doing. It was a little bit inconsistent with the new ball, I would say, but smaller boundaries, you sometimes get a little bit lucky and get a couple out of the screws, and then you're away, I guess, so... just tried to adapt to that and stay in the fight. Watto wants me to try and bat 40 balls every game, so I guess having that in the back of my mind was helpful. And then I guess I just took it upon myself to take responsibility of getting us a good score.
One final question, please.
Keep it very short.
Yeah,
And that's it.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Speaking of evolution, you mentioned evolution, right? And it's a hallmark of a good batsman to keep on adding to their game season after season, year after year. So take us through your evolution since the past year. What have you added to your game mentally and on the field as well?
I think technically probably just tried to be a little bit more side on to, I guess, hold my shape and have my top hand leading my swing a little bit more. And then mentally just trying to, I guess, be really clear on my plan and how I look to go about batting, I guess. And I'm just trying to react a bit more instead of premeditating, and I guess hit the ball where it should go, and hopefully they'll bring a bit more consistency.
Sorry guys, thanks a lot.
Cool.
Got some
Thank
more
you.
games back this week.